Hello and welcome to another episode of the Aligned Cosmopolitan Podcast. I am your host, Olesu Kumalo, and I am really excited to be back. I took like a 5 months break. Yeah, it was 5 months if I'm not mistaken. And I just want to be honest, it's not a case of me being busy or whatever, but it's just a case of me finding myself because a lot of things happened and they really took a toll on my mental health. So, I just really needed time to sit down and to figure myself out, and I've been on this long self-discovery journey. I still am. I'm still learning new things about myself like almost every day. But, during that 5 months that I took, I learned a lot of things. A lot was happening and a lot of it came with lessons. And yes, it wasn't the greatest period in my life, but I'm just grateful that it came with lessons, because, I can actually move forward in life with, some valuable stuff that I've learned from pain. So I've really taken time to know myself and my self-worth, and I've really accepted myself because in the past I had a very big problem with self-acceptance, and I did a lot of stuff for people pleasing. I did it in the name of pleasing people, and I'm really learning to let go of people's ideas of what I should be like, because at the end of the day, I'm the one who walks in these shoes. No one else will walk in these shoes. So for me, it's just a matter of, not living by society's rules and norms. So that's what I've been doing, especially because, I grew up and I was body shamed my entire life. So, growing up, I felt the need to change myself, because clearly there was something wrong with me, in quotation marks. There was something wrong with me, everyone pointed out how fat I was, and it's only something that I'm getting over now, I'm only getting over it now because I realize I don't have to live by society's norms, whoever said, who made up these norms. So for me, it's just like learning to live by my own rules, and I'm learning to be my authentic self because I sat at tables where I felt so out of place and I did so many things just to fit in, and those things did not align with who I really was, and now I am living my own truth. It's hard, I won't lie, it really is hard, but I'm unlearning all the behaviors that hindered me of happiness and everything, so I'm really at a point where I'm just, trying to be my authentic self. So right now I am doing me, unapologetically so that's just where I've been, through these past 5 months. And right now, as I'm being vulnerable, it's not easy for me. It's very hard because I've always been the tough girl, I've always been alone. I'm not used to sharing my feelings with people because it's just something that I was not used to, especially because, it was frowned upon in my childhood, so I had this constant need to not appear weak in front of people. But I just realized that it's not me being weak, but it's just me being authentically me by sharing my truth. Hopefully I can inspire someone out there to share their truth, because we all need to live our truths, and we all need to own it. We all need to be authentic. And society literally can mess with you, literally, and it's so hard because people are suffering with mental illnesses, and you look at all these things, and these issues come from society. It's nowhere else, it's society. So we really need to break free and live our truths. That's what we need to do now. In today's episode, we're gonna be speaking about finishing gracefully and not strong. Now, there's this saying like, let's finish the year strong, but I really don't like that, because it now pushes the narrative that even when you're tired, you need to be strong and you need to push yourself, and basically that's what it is. But okay, fine, 50% of that saying is good, but 50% is not that great, because we are now pushing the narrative that we need to be strong at all times, and that's completely not true, because we're human at the end of the day. We are human, we hurt, we do all these things. So, being strong is not the goal, really. Because being strong, a lot of people have the wrong idea of being strong, and I feel like as society we need to break that down. But that's why I say we need to finish gracefully and not strong, because when you finish strong, you're pushing yourself to do all these things, and being strong comes with stuff like burnout. And if you've ever experienced a burnout, it's not a nice place to be in. So I need us to finish gracefully and not strong. As we approach the end of the year, I like to think of it as a time of reflection and preparation for the next year, which is 2023. And I just want us to reflect on everything that's happened throughout the year, and we're gonna go through some things that you need to reflect on and things that you need to prepare on to make sure that you're actually prepared for the next year, and that you can actually reach your goals and stuff like that. So that is what I want us to focus on today. This specific time of the year is a very exciting time of the year, because we're all anticipating Christmas, New Year's Eve. All of these events, they're so exciting, and they're a time for family. But while anticipating these things, let's just find joy in the little things and look at the law of duality. And the law of duality states that everything exists in dual nature. So a perfect example of this is the yin and yang. The good cannot exist without the bad. It's coexistent. So while looking at the negative, be grateful that there is the negative, because through the negative you're able to recognize the positive stuff. So look at the small things in your life. What really makes you happy? Being alive at this very moment in time is the prize, because let's face it, a lot of things have happened throughout this year. I live in South Africa, and we had these massive floods, and a lot of people lost their homes, people lost their lives. A lot of people just had misfortunes, but I'm grateful that I'm still alive. I still have my home. I just have a lot to be grateful for, and it's so easy for us to focus on the negative, so much so that we really do not see the positive. Sometimes, being alive is the greatest prize. Being alive in this moment is literally the greatest prize, because floods didn't just happen in my country, a lot of things happen. You look at the war, between Russia and, there's just a lot. There's literally a lot to be grateful for. So, just focus on gratitude, because gratitude literally cancels out lack. Any lack that you feel, it will be cancelled out if you focus on your gratitude. At this time of the year, I want you to look back at all the lessons that you learned. You know what you must actually do? In your journal, if you don't have a journal, just use a piece of paper, but you must write down all the lessons that you learned this year. I've made my list already because I was preparing for the next episode, but write down all the things that you learned this year and integrate the lessons taught by those certain situations and relationships, and make sure you learn it now, because if you don't learn it now, guess what happens? You create a cycle, a karmic cycle, where that certain situation or relationship will happen until you actually learn the lesson. So you don't want to create any karmic cycles or anything like that, because it's hell in there. It's horror. but yeah. So write down all the lessons that you learned and integrate them. Make sure you really understand it. And that is why I say God's timing is so perfect. Like, that's one thing I realized this year, that God's timing is perfect. Like, a lot of the things that happened, at the time when they were happening, I was asking myself, okay, why is this happening? But as time passes by, I now understand why that certain thing happened, and I'm just very grateful for that. Like, so yeah, I guarantee you, if you write down those lessons, it will help you. You may not see the results now, but you definitely will see them as time passes by. So yeah, at this time of the year, it's very important to nurture yourself and your needs, because you've come far, you have come a long way. We survived a whole 12 months, and a lot was going on in this 12 months. And I feel like, this year particularly was just, a lesson about relationships, family, friends, any relationship. It really taught us a lot. And I'm not the only one who feels like, I feel like this year specifically was just for lessons about family, relationships, friends, romantic partners, whatever. And nurture yourself and be soft on yourself. Don't be hard on yourself. Really take care of yourself and your needs right now, because you want to enter a new year feeling fresh, feeling revived and renewed. So you don't push yourself until you experience a burnout. So nurture yourself. My self-care right now is at an all-time high. I'm really focusing on myself and my self-care, and I'm nurturing my needs. I've literally cancelled out the people that don't bring me peace. And self-care is not just skincare and body care, whatever. Literally, self-care can be cutting off people that do not bring you peace. So exercise self-care in all forms and aspects. Don't just look at the side of, oh, okay, I'm just gonna do like skincare. There's so many ways to do self-care. Focus on all of the aspects of self-care to make sure that you're really, really nurtured. So now I'm gonna take you back, way back. Remember at the beginning of the year when I told you guys to write down a list of all your goals? Now, I want you to reflect on this year's goals, and you see those goals that you wrote down, look at them and see what you achieved and what you didn't. And do not beat yourself up for for those goals that you didn't achieve, because you still have next year. Cross out all the goals that you achieved, and I want you to take those goals that you didn't achieve into the next year, if it's still something that you want to accomplish. Look at your goals list, and I want you to reflect on what worked for you and what didn't. And this is actually a journal prompt, so I'm giving you homework. Go and write down what worked for you and what didn't. And remember, do not beat yourself up. Really, do not beat yourself up, because you did your best. Just know that you did your best, and let that be enough for you. A lot of the time I'm also quite hard on myself, but I'm really trying to be grateful. Gratitude actually comes a long way, guys. I'm really trying to be grateful for how far I've come, and all I've been through. So don't be hard on yourself. Once you have reviewed your goals, your old goals, I want you to make your new goal list for next year. Make sure that you finish the year when you've already made your list and everything. So I want you to write down your goals as if you've already achieved them. So you write them in the present tense or the past tense, and that's just going to help you to bring the law of attraction into play. So write down your goals, write that list down, and while you're at it, review your vision board. If you made a vision board, go and look at it again. Same thing with the goals. Look at what you achieved and look at what you did not achieve. Also, again, don't beat yourself up. Okay, hope you got that. Look at it and really just establish what works for you and what doesn't. Again, same thing with the goals, the goal list. Okay, and I want you to make a new vision board for 2023. And maybe you can make 2 vision boards a year. So one for January to maybe June, and then from June to December, But it's up to you. But make a new vision board for 2023, so that when you actually enter 2023, you have your own vision board and you're ready to tackle the year. So yeah, and I'm probably gonna do mine today. It's so exciting. Am I the only person who loves making vision boards? It's so inspiring, especially if you get it from Pinterest. If you get the pictures from Pinterest, you can literally get the pictures anywhere, but I use Pinterest and it's so inspiring. I just love the whole process of being creative and choosing which pictures I want and which quotes and how I'm gonna place them and the font I want to use. It's such a nice creative process for me. I really enjoy it. So if you are a creative person and you enjoy being creative, that's a great thing to do. Make a vision board, and then when you've made it, I usually just make it my wallpaper on my laptop, my phone, everything. But you can also print it out and maybe put it in your room, everywhere where you're gonna see it. And that's a really great thing. And I think this year I'm gonna print it out and put it everywhere, because I love just looking at it. It's like you're looking at your dreams. So make a vision board. Another thing that's important to do is to journal about how this year has been for you, and journal about it in depth. Really go deep about it, and just journal. Go all. If it takes 4 pages, so be it, as long as you get it all out there, because this can help you to release emotions and help you to realize things that you didn't. I know I've done this before. I recently wrote down a list of things that I learned. Some of the lessons I didn't even realize. Not that I didn't realize them, but I wasn't paying much attention to them. So it really helps to write down some things, just to help you get a clear headspace, So write down in depth how this year has been for you. Really pour out all your emotions. If it's been like really bad, write down and don't even hold back, and make sure you write this in your journal. If you don't have one, write it on a piece of paper. And if you don't have a journal, go buy one, because why are you not having a journal? It's almost the end of 2022. You have no reason to not have a journal. So please go buy a journal, please. And but yeah, if this year has been really, really bad for you and you just want to like release, you can even burn the piece of paper, burn it maybe on New Year's Eve to help you like release or whatever. But yeah, another reminder, I want you to give love at any chance you get. Give as much as you can, because hey, life's short. We're only here for a good time and not a long time. So give love at any chance you can get. So because you never know, that love could literally improve someone's life, could save someone, so it could make someone's day. So make sure that you give love all the time, any chance you get. Make sure, in my language we say cleaning go time. But yeah, literally just kill them with kindness, as Selena Gomez said in her song. So kill them with kindness at all times. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I felt like I was speaking for a very long time, but it's only been like 21 minutes, whatever. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I hope you guys will learn some stuff from it. Stick around for the next episode, which is episode 10, which is the season finale of this episode, basically. So this is how we're gonna wrap up the year, as well as the first season of the Aligned Cosmopolitan Podcast. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope you guys will literally integrate the lessons that I've given you, and I'll see you next week. Bye.